Back with more Heartstopper. This is episode 5. Very excited to see where things will go next. I'm expecting angst and pain. Hopefully not too much of it. Because we left off with Nick agreeing to go out with Imogen. So, you know, it's not going to be brilliant for Charlie because it's kind of then... It's going to feel a bit of a repeat, I guess, of what happened with him and Ben. He knows it's different, obviously, but... You know, that's going to probably bring up some feelings there, maybe. There's going to be all sorts of conflicts going around, especially with Tao and Elle overhearing all of that exchange. It's just the unfortunate second circumstances, isn't it? And the miscommunication of it all. And yeah, it's might be messy. Hopefully not too messy. We shall see. I just want to see the dog. And some good positive vibes, please. That's all I need. So yes, let's see if that's going to be the case. And just dive into the next one. Oh god. Friendships are already strained. Why are you playing Monopoly?
You only have more money because you know all the Monopoly cheats. You can't cheat at Monopoly!
I mean, you probably can.
Oh, whoops.
Isaac is true, the best of us.
If they say anything mean to Charlie, I'm going to crush them.
Crush them?
Verbally.
Doesn't sound like the safest tactic.
I just think...
Please talk about something else.
In his head, rent free.
No.
Should I perhaps perform a piece of interpretive dance?
Please no.
Would that be less annoying?
Please no.
That wasn't
Oh Christ.
Stop it.
Do I even want to know?
No. I don't want to know. I had to sit through it.
I don't want to be awkward or weird for any of you since you don't really know him.
No, it wouldn't be
No,
awkward.
it wouldn't be awkward at all.
He was coming anyway. Okay.
See, I wasn't sure if...
No.
Are you okay?
My dog died last night.
Oh shit. Oh no.
This is the worst week ever.
Oh Christ. Now he can't. Oh no.
What are you going to say about our date?
He's really looking forward to it. You're going to have a lovely time.
Then we could go to the cinema?
Yeah. Okay.
You said it.
I'd recommend The Batman. Oh.
Thanks for getting me barely any time to get you a present.
You don't have to get me a present. No, I'm serious. Imogen told me you're meeting up on Saturday. Like,
Fuck.
she's telling everyone else.
Fuck. Jesus. You're literally the worst human.
Watch out, dick nozzle.
Uh-oh.
Alright, mate.
Harry, don't start. Just stop picking on people for no reason.
Aw, you gay for them.
Classic Harry. Resorting to homophobia when you can't think of a good comeback.
Mate, are you in a mood today?
Are you? Serious question. Life must be really hard when your only personality trait is rich bellend.
I mean, it's not wrong.
I really don't want him to be dragged into this.
Oh, well, we can't possibly hurt your new best friend, Nick Nelson.
Boy. Same, Nelly. Same.
Oh, do you like this girl?
Well, her dog died.
Yeah, you know you shouldn't go out with someone just because you feel sorry for them.
Yeah.
Don't worry. The right girl will come along. Just you wait.
Sorry in advance if he said anything rude to you. That's just the way he is.
Okay.
Ready to meet them?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah.
You at least try to get to know him?
And a bowling montage. Like every TV show's dream. He's in the zone. Oh no. Oh man.
I'm gonna go talk to him.
About?
Oh dear.
Tao no.
But he won bowling.
Oh, can you get me a Coke? I'll pay.
No, I'll get it. It's fine.
Okay.
How's it?
I'll also accept a can of Coke. If you're paying.
Isaac's the best.
It doesn't even like Harry.
Uh-oh.
He's basically risking everything by hanging out with
Now you're gonna tell me I'm just being jealous because you've made a new friend and I'm scared of being alone.
Whoa.
I just don't like seeing him mess with you. He's...
My friend.
Fine. If he is even slightly mean to you.
Yeah. You're mad at him. I know.
With words.
I was going to say, send him a strongly worded DM, but...
It. Aww. Would have been easy for him to have like tell the truth, but he still didn't. I think means a lot to Nick. Hell yeah! Tap space.
Well, your arms are basically twigs.
Oh. This is a conversation that needs to happen.
Good game.
Okay,
Again,
to start.
you're a good friend. I know.
God.
I'm so scared of it. Okay, well, what do you want to play? I don't know.
Oh wow. Oh, I'm so hungry now.
I felt really bad for her, and I'm so sorry.
Isn't that what you always tell me not to say?
I'm gonna tell her I don't like her like that.
Okay.
You could buy her a new dog.
I should have met you when I was younger. I wish I'd known then what I know now.
Aww.
Sorry to
Aw.
get handmade. That was just
Wholesome!
one of my favourite days ever, so
Wholesome. I'm going to melt.
I really like you.
You like me?
Wasn't that obvious?
Mm.
Why are we like this?
You sure?
Yeah.
Communication! I love it. Shows would drag this out for like 10 years if they could. Oh boy. Got rid of the band-aid off, haven't you? I hope he makes $1 million. Ah, Mario Kart. Money! I'm just gonna rule the world one day.
I think I have to.
I'm going to die. This is too sweet. Everything's coming up what Liam ships. But she's going to want to prioritise their friendship like they agreed. Dog! Yes! Best episode yet. Oh no. Oh dear.
I don't like you like that. Your real personality is buried inside you for a really long time.
I think I get it. Thanks. For being honest.
It's the right thing to do. Oh, well. Resolved. Resolved.
We decided we were better off as friends.
Shut up, Harry.
Alright, what did Nick do?
Nothing. I just think I can do better.
Alright then. Okay. I'm really annoyed that this is the last episode that I can watch today. I have to finish this tomorrow. But I have watched 5 today, so that's not bad going. But because I really want to see what happens next. But I think that's kind of, very telling of how great this show is and how great this episode was. It's given me what I want. It's given me wholesomeness in buckets, and when there is an issue, it's resolved either in the same episode or the very next one. Seems to be kind of the gist of it thus far. And it's resolved nicely, and it's kind of, there's no hard feelings, I think, with the whole thing with Imogen and stuff. And, I think that shows maturity probably even beyond Imogen's years, that she was just so understanding of that and just fine with it. And even coming to his defence when Harry, the knob, tried to take the piss and everything. So, Imogen gets my respect tenfold, and I just love how graceful she kind of, accepted how Nick was feeling, and I like that he was honest with her, kind of resolved all that quite nice and neatly, because it was just an unfortunate thing with the whole Imogen situation. It was just, I think, a sweet, nice person just getting caught up in something that even Nick hasn't really understood within himself yet. And he didn't need to go all the way of saying, exactly how he was feeling with regards to Charlie and stuff to her, but just his kind of disconnect with the life that he has been leading and the personality he's kind of been wearing as a mask, I guess. I guess maybe Imogen could have experienced that herself and feels the same way in regards to that, and that's why she was so understanding of it. I think maybe she's just a very sympathetic person. Especially coming off of, she's had quite an emotional time losing her dog and stuff. Emotions are going to be very open and exposed, so that's going to leave her open to a lot of understanding like that, I think. So I really love that, and I'm glad that kind of came to a nice little conclusion. And, even when Charlie found out the truth from Tao, and, in terms of Tao's point of view, he felt it was his duty as a friend to tell him that, because he still hadn't really gotten to know Nick or anything, but we've got a few moments of that in this one. Hopefully that's going to develop over the course of the next couple of episodes. But yeah, he felt like he had to do it, but when he did, at least Nick kind of came clean about that, and he was really honest with it. It's the communication that I'm really appreciating. It's not just, these characters aren't going to message each other, or they're not going to talk about what's actually going on, even though they just should tell them what's going on, because that will give us an extra 5 episodes of drama. They're just cutting straight to the chase. They're wading through all the bullshit that could have dragged it all out. Probably helps that the episodes are half an hour and they don't have time to do that, but it's just such a breath of fresh air. Just, this story is going at the perfect pace, I think, and it knows what it wants to do with each one. It's letting characters, make some mistakes, but understandable ones, like, Nick agreeing to go out with Imogen in the first place. But then, they're corrected and things are fine and characters can just have a good time. A big chunk of this episode was just them hanging out, bowling and playing all these different games and stuff. And yeah, I loved the scene with Nick and Charlie by the claw machine, really talking things out, trying to define what's going on with them. A huge step forward, I think, for Nick as well. So, there weren't that many people around, granted, but it's still a public place and they kissed there. So I like that kind of development in terms of that. Really laying themselves out on the line, how they feel about each other. And yeah, I'm just glad Charlie had a good birthday. He deserves it. Precious cinnamon roll must be protected. I would die for all the characters in the show, except for Harry. He can die. No, that's harsh. Yeah, he can do one. And Ben, he can do one. All of the little squad of lads, I guess, just need to, have a deep conversation with themselves about everything. But yeah, I really enjoyed all of the kind of interactions that Nick was having, meeting Charlie's friends properly. Seems to get along with all of them, but I like that Tao gave him that stern warning. And it feels like there's going to be, some development with that now, and they've got the foundations of some kind of trust, and it's just a situation of, once Nick is ready to really tell everyone what the extent of his relationship with Charlie is, I think Tao's going to be a lot more understanding, because he doesn't know that about Nick yet, so he just sees him as someone maybe, just running Charlie around a bit, as had happened to him before. He just doesn't want to happen to his friend again. I think is also a bit of what they were talking about with Tao being afraid of change and afraid of the friendship group properly changing, and him losing Charlie as a friend because he's gone off with someone else. He was saying all that, being like, "Oh, don't think it's because of this," and I think it partially is because of that as well. Obviously, I think we've seen him talk to that about, talk with that kind of stuff to Elle, about his fears of changing and his frustrations with that. So there is truth to that as well. He's just trying to deny that, I guess, to paint it as him just being, looking out for Charlie and stuff, and he doesn't have selfish reasons for it. But of course he does, because he's human. So I like all that as well. I'm glad that nearly all of the dirty laundry was kind of aired in this one, and resolved in a nice, neat way, and we can kind of move forward and see what other problems we probably have to deal with now. But yeah, I think it's just happening at such a nice pace, really organically done. The performances from everyone, I think, are top notch. I love this group of characters. They're so good, so well realised, and so well performed. It just reminds me of like some days I've gone out bowling with my friends for the day. I remember New Year's Eve a couple of years ago, we spent the night and into midnight playing bowling, because they had like a whole kind of disco-y thing going on at our local like arcade place. And it was an absolute blast, and I loved hanging out with them. So I kind of got those wholesome vibes from this, and it kind of brought back those memories. And on top of that, we got some great stuff with Nick and Charlie and their development. Tao and Elle had a bit of a moment there. So, that is very much happening, and I'm excited about it. Isaac just raking in all the money. I love it if everyone was just like, everyone's just falling in love, and then Isaac's just there like on slot machines. That's my future, I think. All my friends getting married and having kids, and I'm just floating around here trying to get a donut in a claw machine and being frustrated that I can't. But yeah, there's obviously some things going on with that, so I'm sure that'll be developed with Tao and Elle as well, and his kind of aversion to change, plus their promise that they made to put their friendship above everything else. I think that's going to be the big obstacles in the way of that progressing any further. And I think that's kind of what was on Elle's mind as we kind of saw her whole little process there as she was watching Tao play. So that was great. Again, Harry continues to be the absolute worst. He's supposed to be, they're doing a great job of making him particularly unlikable, because he's very unlikable. I wanted to punch him in the face. So yeah, just so much good stuff, some great development. I'm really enjoying that I don't have to worry too much about the angst side of things, because it's just going to be cleared up in like the next half an hour or so of screen time anyway. It's just so refreshing that there are still problems, but you power through them, and it's not hugely detrimental, and people aren't falling out and not talking for months and months and months and months and months. Might still happen, granted, it's got 3 episodes to go, but I think you can have faith at this point that it's going to be resolved much quicker than I think a lot of other shows would resolve it. You could have season-long feuds between characters, or shows just refusing to let people actually become friends after like 5 years, or they are friends for 3 years and then they have a fight again and they never patch it back up. But this one, I think they're letting the characters just either be themselves if they're already at that place, or learn to be themselves. And yeah, any major conflicts are just being resolved really nicely and fairly quickly, but organically as well. It doesn't feel like forced, because it's realistic, I think, for people to message people and be like, sorry, can we reschedule this, or I can explain everything, and then they actually talk things through, like they actually sat down, Nick and Imogen talked it through, Nick and Charlie were talking it through, all of that. I really enjoyed how that all played out. It's just, it's so refreshing. I'm really enjoying not having to be too worried about it, and the drama of it all, and the big stakes and the world-ending plots, all the big fights and infighting between groups of friends and all that. It doesn't necessarily. It can be interesting and it can draw you in and get you invested in the story, but I'm just as invested in what's going on with this, and we haven't had anywhere near as much drama as some other shows, and so you just don't need it. I just, these are the kind of shows, not just for like the the queer stories that they can tell and the representation that they can kind of show and offer people who are struggling and can relate to those situations and need to see themselves in media like this a lot more often. It's not just why that's needed. It's also just a fun, wholesome show to watch, and that I'm really appreciating that more and more as the episodes go by, and I'm just getting more and more invested in it. All the characters and storytelling, I think, has just been such a delight. It's just nice to not want to cry at how terrible things are for characters you care about every 5 minutes. There have been awkward situations and sad situations, but it's just it really hits the sweet spot of the balance, I think, leaning more towards like the light-hearted and the wholesome and the positive. So yeah, when things are just so bleak in the real world, I think a show like this is very much needed, just for the vibes it offers people, but also the important stories it is telling as well. So yeah, I'm really loving it. I really am. This has been an absolute delight. I can't wait to wake up tomorrow and watch the last 3 episodes and try and get all these edited and stuff. As I'm recording this one, I've uploaded the reactions to 1 and 2. I haven't edited any others ones yet because I've just sat down here now and recorded 3, 4, and 5. So yeah, I'm looking forward to finishing it off tomorrow and trying to get those reactions out for you guys as soon as possible. Hopefully you're enjoying them. But yeah, one hell of a show thus far. I've really loved it, and this was another really, really great episode. I can't wait to see where it goes next. But that's going to be something for future Liam to deal with. And yeah, a really great episode. I can go to bed not having to worry. I'm just like, everything's going to be okay. That's what Heartstopper's offered me today. Peace of mind, which I haven't had watching TV for what feels like forever. Lovely stuff. So yeah, that's going to be everything for now. And until my next reaction, thanks for watching.